Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. And once again another video on subject matter that I talk about when I get around to it. So here it is. And first of all, speaking of subject matter that I never get around to talking about, I'm gonna bring this up because this is relevant. And I'm going to tell you the kind of beliefs that exist out there, how this is relevant. Yeah, I every once in a while, yeah, I'm laughing because I say this. I put camera, video footage and talk about when I write things on the YouTube status wall there and shit that people say and that I laugh at. And I'm going to take you back for a second. Yeah, bear with me. Okay, try not to laugh, because yeah, I have reasons to laugh about this because I have a right to say this. I'm going to bring up when I'll say this in the video, and I admit that I have this belief that when I talk about organized religion, I do advocate and sustain a belief in Jesus Christ under certain terms and circumstances. I meaning videos to tell you about that. But anyway, because of my mixture of beliefs, you know, I don't want to, I'll tell you later in parentheses, I don't want to jump subjects too much because people bitch about that. You should organize your thoughts. Oh, get the fuck out of here. And to be fair too, I actually personally think that I should cut some of that stuff up and make it into video shorts to put through some points. You know, I'm not above doing that. I should do more of that. But anyway, particular thing I said on the YouTube wall a long time ago, which I regard talking about Christianity, organized religion that claims to be for Jesus Christ, whether it's television religion or even certain religions that, hey, people that don't like me on here that are far left don't like. But anyway, getting distracted. There's a squirrel running across here. But anyway, I said on the wall, well, the atheists in the early days of YouTube, when the Amazing Atheist was all the rage and crazy Christians were saying this anyway, especially the atheists. And I had like problems with them to extreme, but you like some better than others, and the other extreme Christians, I'm like, holy shit. But anyway, I wrote on the wall, yeah, I damn right I believe this. I said, religion that claims to believe in Jesus Christ and bunch of sheep in a King James Bible that was dictated by somebody else, another element, whoever you want to say it is, telling you what to believe, right? Believe in Jesus Christ and all that, and but yet, and being pro-life. Yeah, I mentioned in the long-winded, I know I'm taking a long time to say it, but yeah, the comment was long-winded too. Yes, I do question anybody far right that claims to be pro-life and anti-abortion, and I'm pro-life and will believe in the exceptions. But anyway, I included that in there, and I says, how can you be, I can't stand the far left, but I said the far right, what I can't stand, and that side, far right, thinks that I should get a haircut or I'm going to go to hell for disagreeing with them. But I said in the gotten to the point, I'm almost there. But I said, okay, believe it. Yeah, you're pro-life, you're against abortion and it's murder, but yet you listen to TV preachers, on narcissistic TV preachers that clap like trained seals, preach Jesus Christ and pro-life, right? And then in sermons glorify the prehistoric sacrificial dogma that I call it, and regard Abraham here in a disembodied voice, which they're telling us was God to sacrifice his own son as a test. And they believe it was a glorious act, and I believe otherwise. I says, yeah, I believe nicer Christians, you can hear the voice of God now for good reasons, more power to you. But if you hear the voice of God telling you that now, you should be put away. And I also, reason why I believe, oh, before I tell you the reason why I believe this here in my point, I'm going to push this over one point. Before I move back to this point, the people who made remarks to me on the wall, I'm going to talk about them, and you pay attention to this, what I believe about them. The ones that says, oh, you shouldn't just blab everything on here, I'm unsubscribing to you, you should keep that stuff to yourself. And like I said before in the video making fun of them, I said I don't think they were ever subscribed to me at all. It was just, you know, a bunch of bullshit. Do I believe that they were King James Bible thumpers? No. And this is an important to my belief. You can laugh at me if you want, because I see this is in the real world. There are people like this. The people that tell me, oh, I should shut up about that, I shouldn't say that. No, they're not all King James Bible thumpers that are offended. There is a group that believes similar to I do. Some of them got haircuts and all that. That they do believe you should keep it yourself out there in the world and just ignore it. Some of them are actually, some of the ones that criticized me, they're actually maybe on YouTube. They have online communities, if you will, separate sect that hang together, and there are ones out there that like a separatists, if you will, the same kind of people that I say some sovereign citizens are. Videos about that. And they believe you should watch when and how you say it. And I partially agree to a point. There are wrong places where you can get literally gaslighted or canceled. Yes, you could get canceled by the far right. Leftist ain't just cancel culture, but that's a whole new other video subject. But yeah, I'll explain. Yeah, that's what my feeling about them. I figure I should say that. That yeah, there are separate sects out there that believe, that are involved in stuff like that separately, that believe that, yeah, you go ahead and believe that. They hang together and even have their own online communities, but they believe in Jesus Christ, and they believe keeping that to yourself, don't cause it. I partially agree. Yeah, it depends in some cases. I don't believe in shouting it from the rooftops of your town either, you know what I mean? But anyway, I have my reasons for that is pretty much that unlike organized religion, my beliefs, I say this all the time, and I'm not going to be like a grifter for people like Sticks Hex and Hammer 666, that YouTuber, act like I'm trying to be a springboard for him. I'm using, for example, him and any other YouTubers that are better than me, which I always said that they have views way more than I'll ever see. There's a part of the far right, even though they lean right, I lean right on things for good reasons, and I share my videos of them on purpose, the same way I share the non-woke black YouTubers. But I always said there's a far right that don't like them or me, that would have me and them thrown in a cage, and they say we're going to hell for not having a haircut and for questioning me. You know what I mean? So you lean right on certain things. There's a far right, and then there's a far left that can just fuck off. And then there's a moderate left I explained that I get along with. But anyway, to not yammer on too much about that. Damn motorcycle going by. Hey, motorcycle going by ruining my video anyway. So my belief mixture of Christianity and the occult is different. I'll use these other people as a example. But in my belief, the blood of Jesus Christ, if you will, I don't go for that. Oh, scapegoat sacrifice, prehistoric sacrificial dogma. I can go do a video all day. That was a hustle. That was a hustle. Everybody was doing it. Every single pagan, everybody did. In them biblical times, they were selling sacrifices and putting blood on altars, and I'm against that. Jesus Christ was meant to completely abolish and do away with any ritual involving blood. I don't give a rat's ass about the prehistoric sacrificial dogma that the organized religions on TV are telling you like you're supposed to admire. That's irrelevant to me. I'm not a Satanist, and I'm not a I actually into a lot of I call it medieval mysticism, if you will, and I have fitness involved in it too, for a lot of other reasons that are symbolic that I can do a whole video on. But I believe that's the more important thing, and I think your organized religion that glorifies shit like that. My reason being, I don't give a rat's ass if any of the Christian grifters dislike me or not. The facts are that you don't want people, I really don't like to use the word occult. I would rather kind of change it, but I'm I'm gonna have a practical, superstitious and practical ways, and the use of ritual blood sacrifices was dangerous. It had to be stopped. I just don't like the way organized religion. You got some really nice people that can be your neighbors and friends and people that they're Christians, and yeah, they don't like you talking about, and some of them don't believe that, but yeah, people were emphasizing on how Romans and Babylonians occupied Israel and all that and stuff, and all that other stuff. Yeah, the things that they're missing. I don't know, conventional Christianity and Catholicism, yeah, I almost want to say cataclysm because I have other apocalyptic things that I want to use. Catholicism. Yeah, I meant to say Catholicism, but I accidentally said cataclysm almost. But yeah, that's apocalyptic things. In the side of my head here, I'm wanting to talk about stuff like that. That'll be later, but they all teach that blood sacrifices was necessary. It was a hustle. Jesus Christ, they were pissed at Jesus Christ. He killed the blood sacrifice industry. It says in the Bible they were selling them, and they were even requiring literally more of them at will, because you get a sacrifice, did you bring your own? It was conveniently it's flawed, you got to buy one of ours, and while you're at it, why take that one home? We'll take it off your hands. And then that one that was invalid as a sacrifice, I wouldn't put it past them to doing the same thing to the next guy and selling the next group that way, you know what I mean? Telling you, you had to bring a dove. And at the same damn time, all that shit in the Bible that was going on back then, right? All these other cultures that were there at the same time were sacrificing animals on blood altars to something. And later on down the line, when Christianity started to spread, right, and even say medieval times and everything, it was pre-medieval, they had their animal sacrifice hustle industry, if you will, and Christianity spreading in any of them cultures was a threat to that. And they were making lots of money, so Christians were being persecuted more or less for that. But then eventually, okay, I'm jumping subjects here, but I don't even have to be historically correct, but in a nutshell, when Constantine, did what he did. A little bit at a time, barbarians, all the history about barbarians. I looked at the whole History Channel DVD set. I'm saying from memory. You went from that, okay, then you had the Inquisitions, which was no better, and they were forcing different kind of Christian. Oh, you got to believe in this, or you'll be burned at the stake, executed, jailed, or whatever the hell too. But anyway, that's shit for later. Before it became that, every damn culture where Christianity was being introduced, it was a threat to their animal sacrifice industry. Because, yeah, the Jews had their Holy of Holies, which I'm not anti-Semitic, but I think that was a crock of shit. Created by pricks at the time, nothing against Jews, but the ruling Jews imposed their will on the behalf of God on other Jews. That Holy of Holies, oh yeah, it's so holy, you do the sacrifice just right, tie a string around you in case something so powerful you can be dead as a doornail, and they'd have to use something to drag you. What that was a crock of the most succulent bullshit that I ever seen, and you're not allowed to talk about. That was big crock of shit to create fear, make people scared, and imagine if anybody else was to leak that information or whistleblower, they'd be conveniently stoned to death. You know what I mean? So that was it was a control mechanism to create fear. So Jesus Christ comes along, and he stirs up all of this, right? And they were so pissed at him, you know, they wanted Pontius Pilate to crucify him, but he wasn't even going to do it. But it's another story. I mean, anyway, it was meant in some of our belief, because you can actually perceive a lot of things when you look at a lot of things real close. I mean, if you want to even look up things, the use of blood was meant to be abolished for good reason. And some of us view about the blood of Christ, you know, I'm kind of, what do you call it, rambling and pausing unorganized subject, because there's so much stuff in there you can make separate videos about. I'm just saying, basically, for memory, the bottom line is the most important part. No television preacher is meant to glorify any of that shit. It was meant to go away. You could never ever, that was the biggest lie, you could never use any blood to atone for anybody, any redeemer who didn't come yet. That was the biggest bunch of bullshit. And yeah, you could not. They were told that they could, but you could not transfer your sins onto any kind of animal. And then there was a thing when my mother listened to Perry Stone. He explained what the scapegoat is. Yeah, I had Perry Stone in my house. My mother listened to it, even though she sweared like a, maybe what you want to call it, like a female truck driver or sailor or whatever the hell, or somebody off the street. Yeah, in our house, including me, we do that. But yeah, you grew up with that. That was just where I heard the whole explanation, but you can look it up about the scapegoat. You know, it actually ran goats off a cliff. That was created by man. You had from the fall, I could do a whole thing about my take on the fall, how it created the predatory nature of all creatures, including people. You and humans can get eaten by animals. Animals ate other animals, the predatory nature, and up until this day, we're all killing each other and prey on each other, but yet mankind has pretty much, for the most part, except being eaten by a crocodile or something, or a lion somewhere, we basically have very few predators for checks on our numbers, unlike other animals do. But that during that fall you see in the Bible, you can talk all day about that. But if you were this far in this video, when that was first introduced, I believe during the fall and Adam and Eve, there was a indiscretion that you can, you have a farm of animals or whatever, wool for your clothes, that you got to eat, and you do something reverently, the right way. It was not meant to what it turned into, this big hustle. And when that was introduced, any part of that, ritualistically, it was meant to be mindful, take only what you need, and all that other stuff. Now you have the meat packing industry. The meat saws over there, throwing in the packaging or whatever. You could laugh about that to a point, but that's what it was meant to. Though that fall originally created, we fell into mortality. Animals had to worry about predators. People, yes, it was a higher likelihood that people got eaten, and then it created like a big, huge mess. And then, a lot of us, we read the books of Enoch. We have all this other stuff that we believed. I'll just throw into parentheses, I won't talk about here, but it's out there if you want to look at it. But these organized religions, even though there's some nice people in them that you don't go around saying, they interpret it for their own benefit, tell you how to interpret it, and it's all about making money for them and for asserting their dominance over you, and their glorifying of the old, their glorification and interpretation of the old prehistoric sacrificial dogma, and glorifying it on top of that, gives you plenty of valid excuse to reject them. But be nice to the ones, but be nice to some of them to their face when if they're nice to you. That's it. That's all it is. And to have a respect for the civilized world and not be a degenerate, if you will. That's pretty much all it is in a nutshell. But yes, it's about, you believe, that's my nutshell belief of what the blood of Jesus Christ did, as opposed to anybody who is a denier of Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, if you got this far in this video, I don't agree with a lot of other theories that Joe Imbriano and the Fullerton Informer says, but I support his talk all the time, how he brings up in his videos about the people in this world that are bringing all the trouble are the deniers of Jesus Christ. I agree with him. And some of these, some of these, but my point is, if you got this far in this video, no, I'm not a denier of Jesus Christ. Not at all. Matter of fact, I sustain Jesus Christ, that blood, his blood, actually did away with all that prehistoric sacrificial dogma. And you can argue that some of the high-ups, that religion is part of control, and popes and everything else, and the stuff that religions are actually compromising with now, you can argue that some of them in their own minds might be deniers of Jesus Christ. They're using his name to make money. As long as you got lots of money, you can say you're in the name of Jesus Christ, and then glorify the prehistoric sacrificial dogma and say it was right, and say that you can transfer sin, different couple variations of belief, transfer sins onto some animal. You can kiss my ass with that shit. I don't deny Jesus Christ at all. Jesus Christ, that's why they crucified him. He was meant to do away with all that shit. Yes, I swear I'm going to say shit. It is shit. Because, people I worked with, both black and white, they believe in Jesus Christ. There is a culture out there. I'm not saying it's right, both black and white. I don't care if any certain black ministers or white ministers don't like me or not. I'm not going to trash them, but they know to a certain point. That a lot of us out there were both black and and white were able to talk about certain things about God and yet swear like ghetto sailors or ghetto truck drivers. That culture is out there. I mean, if I say let them do it if you want to communicate good, positive things about the world, you know what I mean? But yet you have to be domesticated at the same time to a certain point, and you have to, what do you call it, use etiquette skills when need be. The same thing what I said in my sovereign citizen videos when I tear apart that that bullshit proper Wikipedia definition of sovereign citizen, which I also do agree it's bad, but that goes into it. Yeah, that's just the way it is. But yeah, that's if you anyway, my whole point to this is a lot of these kids, I don't go for that Aleister Crowley crap. If they want to laugh at me, it's like be little punks and not have anything, or the guy that I said in a bus station a long time ago, I made remarks about the shirt that says Jesus is a douche. If I were to jokingly talk to him, he'd be so narcissistic in all he would care about is the narrative his shirt represents, that Jesus is a douche. He won't want to hear anything I said, and all he could give a fuck about is his narrative, where I'd be trying to agree with him to be nice and say, well, the Jesus that is being presented to you by other idiots is a douche. It's not Jesus that the douche. It's not Jesus that the douche. Okay, all right, hold on. It's not Jesus whom is the douche. It's the Jesus that was cherry-picked and presented to him by the people. The people were the douche, not Jesus Christ. Or there's this image of Jesus Christ that people counterfeit, that people put out there. And yeah, you can wear a shirt that says Jesus is a douche if you want to, but it just shows you're closed-minded. If you can go on YouTube and talk about me, go wear a shirt that says Jesus is a douche, but what's the sense of flaunting a shirt like that? You got free expression. But like I said too, I would ask them, okay, what if I decided to wear a shirt that says Che Guevara is the douche? Yep, I would love that shit. And then say a picture of Che Guevara uses toilet paper, but that's another thing, you know what I mean? You talk about like these people way back years ago, the what do you call it, the college professor that was all the rage, the Amazing Atheist was talking about, the stomp on Jesus thing. Oh, I had somebody get pissed at me when I made comments about it, like in videos, old videos. I don't even think I have up anymore. I was trying to make a point. Okay, because it messes with the narrative, the part of that atheist narrative, and I had some guy from the UK got all mad. Oh, you and your YouTube videos with your silly exercises is who the hell are you? Think you are? I made my point that, all right, yeah, you want to go with that college professor, tell the kids that stomp on Jesus. And I said, well, I can go in that college too and stomp on Che Guevara. If you want to stomp on Jesus, you should be free to, okay, how would they react if I stomp on Che Guevara, a communist leader? Yeah, maybe I swear like a ghetto truck driver, hippie or whatever. But yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, you have a right to be, you're questioning the narrative. If you got this far, I should break some of this down into shorts, because you like video shorts, because anyway, that's, if you got this far in this video, that's how my mind works on these things. And they'll get pissed at you for saying it. Yeah, you get a university wants to tell somebody to stomp on Jesus, even though that's an old subject. It was all the rage. Amazing Atheist was talking about it. But yeah, stomp on Che Guevara. Yeah, you can wear a shirt that says Jesus is a douche, but okay, how about I wear I don't know if the guy that wears a shirt that says Jesus is a douche likes Che Guevara, but I'd ask him, hey, what if I wear a shirt that says Che Guevara is a Jew? Che Guevara is a douche. I think they should have shirts like that, really, and they should have Che Guevara toilet paper with his face on. You can wipe your ass with that. put it in the bathrooms of the universities, put it in the toilet paper rack, But anyway, yeah, I'm rambling, but maybe I'm rambling, but I got a shitload of ideas to piss people off. But if you get anything out of this, you got to think critically here anyway. So my one other point too, the piece that I should talk more about separately in the video. Oh yeah, you want to, you have Bible thumping parents, right? That are, or one way when they go to church, but when they're in a house, your mother and father swears worse than ghetto truck drivers, or at home they swear like that, and maybe your mother swears worse than a meth head on the street when she's at home, but goes to church and acts. And you decide you rebel against mommy and daddy and believe in Aleister Crowley and cherry pick Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, you're gonna rebel against mommy and daddy and worship the works of Aleister Crowley? What, a guy that squandered all daddy's money, and which is daddy really should have been, if he could, get back up in his grave and grab him by the throat, drag him by the throat, turn him over his knee, and beat his ass. It would be very fitting, okay, after Aleister Crowley died and there was not like a hell or an afterlife, he met his father, and his father took a belt off, right, turned him over his knee, and was just spanking his ass for all eternity for being stupid and squandering all his money, even though after this world money doesn't matter. But I'm saying that to be humorous. Maybe I'm being silly, but if it could happen, Aleister Crowley would deserve it. My point was, you rebel against mommy and daddy and want to worship all the shit of Aleister Crowley. You're going to take on the philosophies, occult philosophies, if you will, of a dead loser that squandered all daddy's money? Then you're a fucking idiot. Just that plain and simple. But I can go on. But I want to tell you there, you got this far where my head at. I mean, if you want to believe, have a mixture of Christianity with a occultic or medieval mysticism ideas into it, you got to do it the right way. I mean, if you can't stand religion, there's nothing wrong with sustaining the belief in Jesus Christ. Like I say once again, reason why I brought up Satanism and prehistoric sacrificial dogma is, you don't want that occult shit, and Jesus Christ was meant to do away with all ritualistic bloodletting dogma. It was no good. It was supposed to go away, and it was never even meant to be practiced under the ways it was during biblical times. Not by nobody. Not by the Jews of the time. Not in that way, no. Not in the way it became a big hustle, and the same way all those other cultures that occupied Israel and all those people were sacrificing to something. All that was meant to go away too. And remind you once again, that's why Christians were being persecuted there too, because it was ruining their hustle too. Then Christianity started spreading. The Inquisition started because they were adopting Christianity, and these dictators, they were just changing their political platform. Okay, you're going to believe this way, or we're going to burn you at the stake and stone you. And common sense without even being completely historically correct. Yeah, they'll play that historically correct and biblically correct card on you, too, to shout you down. But, I mean, the way this world is getting, I mean, you gotta see what's really going on with all these elites that are doing all these practices they know damn well we're doing, with their who they're actually worshiping to get their power, and what they're doing to this country and to the UK and to all these other countries now. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to stop right there because that's going to be a bunch of other rambles and separate videos, but those things relate too. But